In the quaint town of Overheege, Belgium, where cobblestones outnumber residents and every incline is a potential heartbreaker, cycling fans witness a spectacle that will be recounted for generations. Remco Evenepeol, fresh from a recovery that would make Lazarus envious, returned to a competitive cycling race with a bang, leaving none other than Wout van Aert in his wake at the 2025 De Brabants Pijl. The race, a tale of two titans. The 162-kilometer course of De Brabants Pijl, adorned with 21 climbs, set the stage for a duel reminiscent of epic tales. Evenepeol and Van Aert, both Belgian powerhouses, broke away on the Hoogstraat climb, approximately 55 km from the finish. Their alliance, however, was short-lived. As they approached the final kilometers, Evenepeol launched a sprint that left Van Aert grasping at shadows. Remco Evenepeol, quote, "It's incredible. I knew in the last days that I was pretty good. But to race from so far away together with Wout, it's pretty good. Then to beat Wout in the sprint, taking the lead in the last 2 kilometers. For Van Aert, the defeat was a bitter pill. Known for his sprinting prowess, being outpaced by Evenepeol was pretty unexpected, and most cycling fans are shocked. Wout van Aert said, quote, "I just had nothing left in the sprint. Remco Evenepeol really broke me." The comeback. From hospital bed to podium. December 2024 was a dark time for Evenepeol. A training accident involving a postal vehicle left him with fractures to his rib, shoulder blade and hand, lung contusions, and a dislocated clavicle with torn ligaments. The severity of his injuries led him to question his future in professional cycling. However, through rigorous rehabilitation and unwavering determination, Evenepeol embarked on a journey back to fitness to try and get race fit before Tour de France 2025. His recent victory against Wout van Aert wasn't just a win, it was pretty much a testament to how resilient this guy is and how he is up there with the top 5 greatest in the world currently. Van Aert's shock when the unexpected happens. Van Aert is a seasoned sprinter. Let's be honest, he was so confused when Evenepeol was out-kicking him on the last few Ks. He found himself outpaced in the final meters. The defeat was not just a loss, but a moment of introspection for him. Wout van Aert said, quote, "Remco slowly killed me. I don't know what's wrong with my sprint." Such candidness from Van Aert highlights the unpredictability of what happened and how he's probably a bit embarrassed over everything. But I wouldn't exactly feel embarrassed after being beaten by Remco. The guy's an absolute powerhouse. Evenepoel's Tour de France prospects. A new contender emerges. Evenepoel's performances has reignited discussions about his potential in the upcoming Tour de France. His combination of time trial fitness and climbing ability positions him as a formidable contender in the race. Remco Evenepeol said, quote, "We came pretty close last year, so that was a pretty good taste. Now we know what to do and what to work on." With a route that includes a 33-kilometer time trial in Cayenne, Evenepoel sees an opportunity to don the yellow jersey early in the race. Van Aert rode ahead, redemption and ambition. Despite the setback, Van Aert remains undeterred with his goals that he originally had at the beginning of this season. His 2025 calendar is packed, aiming for victories in the Tour of Flanders, Paris-Roubaix, and stage wins in both the Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France. Wout van Aert said, quote, "I want to try again at the Tour of Flanders and win Paris-Roubaix. This will be my main goal in the spring. After that, I will do both the Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France. I hope to be triumphant in both rounds, winning stages in each. It will be a busy year for me. The bigger picture, a rivalry renewed. The duel between Evenepeol and Van Aert at Brabantse Pijl is more than a race result. It's a narrative of ambition and unpredictable nature of cycling. As both riders prepare for the challenges ahead of the 2025 summer season, fans can anticipate more thrilling encounters between these two titans of cycling. Comebacks are celebrated, rivalries are cherished, and every race tells a story. The 2025 de Brabantse Pijl was no exception, offering a tale of determination, surprise, and the ever-present spirit of competition. Now, as we turn our attention to the 2025 Tour de France, one question looms. Could Remco Evenepoel actually win this thing? He's proved that he is Tour de France race fit, but being race fit doesn't mean being potentially able to win the race. Let's look at some of the high stakes drama. The time trial domination. The quote, "let's do it the Evenepoel way" approach. Now, we've all seen Remco's remarkable ability to annihilate time trials like he's riding against a stationary bike. Whether it's holding the aero position like an Ironman or outpedaling cyclists who can barely catch their breath, Evenepoel has time trialing nailed. So yes, let's admit it, he has a shot. And while the big long climbs of the Tour de France are where the GC contenders traditionally celebrate and separate themselves, Remco's ability to decimate his rivals on the clock could give him a significant advantage. Could Remco potentially use the time trials to turn the Tour de France into a game of catch me if you can? Well, kind of. With two individual time trials in 2025, there's a real chance for Remco to gain a lot of time on the competition, especially when the rest of the GC contenders are trying to avoid going full throttle in the opening days to save their legs for the mountains. By the time the big climbs come, he might be sitting comfortably with a time advantage, making him nearly impossible to drop without serious effort. The second scenario, the Wildcard Strategy, shaking up the climbs. Of course, let's not forget the most common tactic in cycling. If you can't outclimb them, you can't win the Tour. So where does Remco stand here? To be blunt, not on the same level as Jonas Vingegaard or Tadej Pogačar when it comes to climbing. But hear me out. If Remco can launch a few well-timed attacks on the more unpredictable stages, like say in the opening stages of a brutal climb or a crazy final ascent, he could throw a curveball to the other GC contenders. Think of it like a mini kitchen sink thrown at the peloton when no one is expecting it. Who knows, he may even manage to steal a stage or two. A few lucky moves or relentless chases could keep him in contention, but we're getting into the quote wishful thinking territory. So the third scenario is what I've coined quote I'm here to take the jersey, a compelling approach to the polka dots. Okay, here's the thing. Evenepoel isn't exactly a slouch in the mountains. While he doesn't have Pogačar's magical climbing legs, he's proven that he's got some fight in him when the road kicks up steep. So let's consider the possibility that Remco targets the polka dot jersey for the King of the Mountains classification. If he's not in a fight for the overall, why not go for some stage wins tactically, and those little sprint points while shredding the climbs with gusto? With his time trialing advantage and ability to contest mountain stages, this could be Remco's ideal fallback, especially considering he probably won't have to face the same insane climbs that Pogačar and Vingegaard excel on. The odds of winning. Statistical reality check. We all love a good dream, but let's rein it in for a second. Evenepoel has potential, yes, but is he going to outright win the Tour de France? His chances are not as stellar as Vingegaard-Pogačar duo, with the odds of him winning sitting at around 12%, depending on the usual cycling betting houses if you're into that. But the reality is that Evenepeol's strengths don't match up perfectly with the specific demands of the Tour de France. He's got the time trial skills to decimate his competitors, but when it comes to a 21-day Grand Tour and that crucial combination of endurance, mountain legs and staying power, he's still quite there. It's like entering the Tour de France with a Formula 1 car and trying to race on a gravel road. Great for some sections, but will he finish the whole thing? Conclusion. Can Remco win? Probably not, but he can stir the pot and possibly steal a jersey. Here's the bottom line. Remco isn't out of the picture for the 2025 Tour de France, but he's no front runner either. He'll likely take a few stage wins and leave a trail of dust with his time trial performances. He's got the firepower to mix it up with the big dogs. However, even the one to watch for a jersey win isn't going to be the overall GC contender, like the polka dots or even the young rider classifications. But when it comes to taking the overall, let's just say it'll take a perfect storm of lucky breaks and insane performances for Remco to actually snag a podium, let alone the win. In short, let's enjoy the spectacle, but don't hold your breath on Remco wearing that yellow jersey in Paris, folks. Not yet anyway. Maybe in half a decade. Who knows? Thanks for watching today's video. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing as I upload every single day all of the latest cycling news, cycling drama and cycling results. I'll be covering all the next races coming up, so make sure you don't miss a video.